Shaving is like the biggest pain in the ass ever. It's just, I wish that I would just like have no hair on my face so I wouldn't have to deal with it. From Robbie Hall, who cares what other people think? It's none of their business. People aren't going to change for you. Why should you change for them? You are who you are. And ultimately, the only thing that matters is being comfortable in your own skin. 100% agree. I think that we get this message shoved down our throats at an early age that we have to please others, that our value is intrinsically tied to how others perceive us. My goal with this channel is to remind people that at the end of the day, the only thing that you should really need, the only thing you should really be focused on, is your own self-assurance. Making sure you're comfortable with who you are, and making sure that you don't care and don't let other people's thoughts influence your ability to be happy. At the end of the day, we're never going to be able to please everybody. We're always going to have critics. We're always going to have haters. We're not going to make every single person fall madly in love with us. It's just not possible. What we can do is feel comfortable in our own skin, acknowledge our weaknesses, and focus on the things that we can focus on and changing and working towards growth and development. From Amir, man, I don't want to go bald at 19. I want my curly afro back. I replied saying it's not an easy transition, but once you finally accept it, you'll find it really isn't as big of a deal as you initially believed it is. And then he responded saying thanks for the reply, man, really appreciate it. Back in mid-2017, I was struggling with a similar concept. For the longest time I had kept semi-long hair on my head. It's a look that I really liked, and it's still a look that I wish I could have. I miss styling my hair, bad hair days aside, it was a lot of fun. I can understand at an earlier age where it's really hard to have your own identity and trying to figure out like who you are and having your appearance be tied to that to some degree, how difficult it can be to separate that. For me, it was very difficult, and I watch YouTubers like myself who kind of help me calm down and relax and think rationally about it, and that's why I was able to take that step and go shave my head. It's not easy. It'll never be easy whenever you first transition. I don't think anybody has like a painless first shave whenever they realize they're balding to the point where they can't salvage the hair. And I feel for you. They're not going to have that curly afro anymore. I hope that you find your way along in life and that you find a way to be comfortable in your own skin despite whatever hair issues you may believe that you have. I think another fact about you is the maturity and confidence you have in having firmly established your identity and being comfortable with it. Never worry about what others think. If a person is worthy of your friendship, or if another woman is worthy of being in a relationship with you, in both cases, they will see and value your good qualities and be endeared by it. Yeah, and that didn't come without a lot of struggle along the way. People don't just become confident overnight. You can't even fake it, really. Now, I used to do this thing way back in the day, whenever I was younger, where I would pretend to be confident, even though inside I was a soft-boiled egg of anxiety. I don't know if that analogy is apt, but I'm gonna roll with it. The thing is, for the longest time, I just didn't think that I was worthy of being loved and cared for. And that didn't come out of nowhere. There had been experiences throughout my life that had led me to believe that no matter how hard I tried, I wouldn't be able to maintain any form of relationship, whether it be friend or otherwise. So I started to fake basically being confident. Now, I don't necessarily believe in the fake it until you make it approach, because I think that it can't always work. But I gave it a shot. And what I found was the theory of magnetism took place. And what this basically is, and I'll have a video about this eventually, is where if you manifest in your heart a belief in yourself and your ability to succeed, people around you will notice that and push you towards that success. That's a very, very generalized way of looking at this theory. And I've been reading this book called Think and Grow Rich that talks about the idea of faith, not in like a spiritual sense, but like more of a faith in yourself kind of thing. Where if you continue to tell yourself that you will succeed and go towards your goals, you will slowly inch towards those goals due to subconscious belief that pushes you towards that. Now, that being said, I don't think that this method works for everybody. I think that it depends on a certain level of life experience and maturity on whether or not you succeed in this. My advice to people who are suffering with self-confidence issues is to take a critical look at where you are weak at, what is making you feel self-conscious, what are your insecurities, and is there anything you can do to better those? If you're insecure because you're terrible at public speaking, can you practice public speaking? Can you make a YouTube channel and focus on that development? If you're really insecure because you have skinny ass legs, can you start doing more squats at home? Can you start running? Can you start eating more protein to try to build up those muscles? There are things that we can do for a lot of our insecurities to help ease that pain. And once you start making progress, you start to feel more confident because you've accomplished something. From the man, the myth, the legend, Bald Stanley, what did your school friends think about your weekly flight jaunts? Did they, or you, think it was perhaps social status? Thanks for sharing. So this is in reference to the fact that during middle school, I flew about every other weekend to my bio dad's state to visit him for custody reasons. Now, no. First of all, I didn't really have a lot of friends back in middle school. I mean, I think everybody has a bad middle school experience one way or another, but at school especially, I only had one friend, which was fine. I had youth group friends, so I used to go to church and I used to be Catholic, and I had a group of people that we would meet every single week and some weekends and have events. We even had some, like, church dances and such. Now, a lot of them were actually, like me, very irritated with the situation because it made me miss quite a few events that I really wanted to have to go to a place I didn't even want to go to. As far as people at school went, they knew about it, but frankly, they didn't care. I went to a private school. A lot of them already were pretty well off monetarily, so it wasn't really like a standout thing, honestly. And frankly, a lot of them just didn't really care. It wasn't really talked about a whole lot either. Like, I didn't really like to talk about my bio dad unless I absolutely had to because I never wanted him as part of my life. So, no. It wasn't really seen as social status, and the people who did actually kind of care were just frustrated like I was. And this last one, which is just a random string of letters, is, I am a 19 years old girl, and my hair is getting thinner every day. Date with me, I think we can get along well. Now, I am like 95, maybe even 98% sure that this is just like a troll comment, because girls don't watch my YouTube channel. And if they do, they don't comment really, unless they're like people that I know in real life, because I do have a few of those, but they're not like that, where they're like, date me, Chris, please. I'm pretty sure this is just a troll. If it's not a troll, hi. I have a girlfriend. I happen to love her quite a bit. Thanks, but no thank you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, and do not forget to keep it casual.